Today we will share with you some of the non-obvious digital marketing mistakes, or tell you how to grow your return on investment through some small steps. First of all, let's introduce each other and obviously start with us. In short, Nix United is a 360-degree company providing the whole cycle of digital transformation, from solid software development to powerful digital marketing promotion, to help companies become market leaders. Speaking of our marketing department that I represent, that's 350 in-house experts. And in here you have some of the great companies that we are happy that they're our clients. Me, I'm Nick Maslii, digital marketing strategist. Since 2019, I've been helping international businesses find their growth points, identify and implement the most efficient and effective digital marketing solutions, and generally to make money out of their marketing, because marketing has to make you money. Let's start with some fun statistics. Not always the statistics will be actually fun for those who the statistics describe sometimes, but each hour block will start with such short block with such statistics. So 20% of small businesses fall in the first year. 50% of them fail within the first 5 years. Every seventh of those that failed points to poor marketing management as the main reason. And we have no doubt that today, of course, we have representatives of those 20% that will make it through the first year, those 50 that have already made it through the 5, but still, it's worth to know the tips that we will share with you today in order to increase your chances of getting into those 20 and 50%. We'll split the info that we will share with you today regarding marketing into such blocks as marketing research, paid ads, SEO, and email marketing. Marketing research is something that any marketing thing should start with, understanding where to run before running. And paid ads, SEO, and email marketing are one of the most, okay, not for all niches, but generally one of the most powerful tools of performance marketing that we specialize on. We've been working with digital marketing since 2004, and today we will share with you the tips that helped our clients to actually increase revenue by 30% simply by updating an ad message, and double average order value by segmenting smart shopping ad campaigns, or improve organic traffic by 44% with simple, as it can be for SEO, simple SEO tricks, or receive 8 times more new engaged subscribers to the list. So let's get to know each other again. Before I've introduced myself, now please let us understand a little bit more about you. So I will now share a poll with you. Yeah. You can see the questions right now in your Zoom interface. Please answer these questions. And the questions are, first, what kind of business do you have? And we segmented it into retail, B2C services, brand and product, or B2C services. And of course, this question has a multiple choice, as it can happen that you have a brand and it's B2B services, or it's retail, or yeah. So the first one is the multiple choice. Second question is, who is responsible for marketing in your business? It can either be you all by yourself, or is it one digital marketing manager that has 11 hands and managing everything that businesses needs, which unfortunately often happens. Unfortunately for this very talented manager with 11 hands, your in-house marketing team that consists of different various specialists, or do you outsource some tasks, hiring an external digital marketing company while keeping some things in-house? And the third question is, how old is your business? Is it upcoming? Is it 0 to 2 years, to up to 2 years? Is it 2 to 5 years? Or is it 5 and more years? I'll give you 5 more seconds to answer this question. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, thank you. And here we can see the same. Yeah, let me remind you which questions we have just answered. What kind of business do you have? Who is responsible for marketing in your business? And how old is your business? Is it the upcoming star or it's more than 5 years? Okay, thank you for answers. Now let me, I'm finishing the poll, and now let me share with you the results. We are transparent, so everything we learn about you, we share with you. And as you can see, so interesting. In the first question, 27 of us, so mostly the attendees of today's webinar, represent B2C services. No, excuse me, of course, B2B services is 45%, which is why it would have been unusual if majority represented B2C. So B2B services is the majority, 45%, B2C 27%, retail 9%, and brand and product 18%. In terms of who is responsible for marketing in your business, it's all by myself, 27%. One digital marketing manager is responsible. So probably one digital marketing manager, but not you, the attendee of the webinar, in 18% of the cases. In-house marketing team, which is quite good choice, as any of those, all 4 are good choices. In majority of the cases, 45%, and I outsource some tasks, 9% of the attendees. And how old is your business? Mostly we have here businesses that are under 2 years old, but not upcoming, haven't called themselves upcoming. 9% are 2 to 5 years, and 36%, which is actually quite close to the almost, also this is the first place, 5+ years. Thank you. I don't share this poll anymore, and we continue. Whoa. So now let's get it started. We will start sharing with you our info that we've prepared today. And this, by the way, is the picture of me in my young years when I was doing rep before marketing. So marketing research. Let's start with this topic. Again, some questions to you. Have you conducted marketing research? I am going to share with you the poll again, and I would like to ask you to answer this. Now, of course, you can see it on your screens. Of course, marketing research is something that you can call many different things marketing research. So if you have conducted anything that you think was a marketing research, please press yes. If no, then no. And maybe asking your customers, how was your day-to-day, cannot be considered marketing research. The rest, any kind of data that you've gathered about your customers, that can be considered marketing research, so please answer yes. I give you 5 more seconds to answer this question, and we will share the results and finish the poll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you. And mostly attendees of our webinar today did do some kind of marketing research. You don't know this because I haven't shared the results with you yet, but now you do. So as you can see, 64% of us have conducted marketing research for their business, which is good. Which guarantees that you save money on your marketing. That's why it's good. What you could focus in your marketing research that you most likely have conducted. Clients that come to us do this. So I would suppose we would assume that in your marketing research that you have conducted, you probably paid attention generally to market share and trends, to your competitors, to pricing strategies, and to marketing channels. And of course, all of this is the data that you just must know, and this is super important. But what if I told you that data aren't insights, as Morpheus here says? But what if I told you this is not always enough, and there are things that you should also learn about your customers and the market? What is also important is the demand for your product in the niche, and we'll cover it a bit more deeply later, and customer research. These are two things that probably when I just told you demand and customers, your first reaction was something similar to this guy from Instagram and TikTok that tells you that all the great tricks are not actually great tricks. That's very often the truth. But anyway, even though this is an obvious thought, we have noticed that often our customers that come to us and have conducted their own marketing research, they overlook these two important points, demand analysis and consumer analysis. So let's talk about it a bit, about each of them. So the types of demand. Let's imagine that we are selling hammers and we are number one hammer seller in the region, and we're doing really good. And so for us, the direct demand is very simple. When someone, in this case, Google, also since today we're talking about the online marketing, then the good thing for this webinar and in general for us as marketers in online is that demand for us is not something metaphorical or like something theoretical. It's actually what people Google. You can dynamically watch it, measure it, and use it. So in this case, when people Google buy hammer, that's our direct demand, something that we should benefit from, and probably most of the businesses understand it and do it. There are, however, other types of demand, indirect demand. For example, the demand type of, for example, like how to hang a painting. People are not directly looking for our product, but they, however, are still, this is the product that will solve their need. Joint demand. In this example is hammer. Joint demand for the hammer is nails. So this could mean two things for us. First of all, if we sell hammers and we also start selling nails, then this might sell us additionally a hammer or two, because people will come for nails and buy some hammers. Again, not something obvious. And additionally, the demand that is looking for nails potentially can be converted into our demand for our hammers that we so happily sell. Composite demand. It's the case when a certain product can be used for many different purposes. So, for example, let's imagine that the only way to break a piggy bank was to squash it with the hammer. Let's imagine that it happens. And then if we understand that, for example, there was some spike, maybe there was a crisis and people suddenly started breaking their piggy banks looking for the funds they have collected there, and we understand that there will be more hammers needed to break the piggy banks. Why not? Then we could understand that the demand for hammers will increase, and so supply will be less. And maybe at this time, it's a good idea for us, if we are selling our hammers still usually as we do, to maybe increase pricing a little bit, since the supply is less right now. And finally, the latent demand is when when customer is looking for a product, but he either cannot afford it, or doesn't know such product exists, or doesn't even have an idea of what could solve his problem, but he clearly understands that he has a problem. For example, imagine I have a car. Let's imagine I have Bentley then. And so I have a car and I have this fear that one day I will get robbed by the robbers right in my car. And there is no product on the market that can kind of like, no one sells me guaranteed protection from car thieves. I mean, there are technically some, if it's not bodyguards, like something without someone else being present in my car. So theoretically, I could keep a hammer in my car, and with some solid skills of hammer martial arts, I could feel more secure, could protect myself, and also in this case, hammer could be a solution to my latent demand that I have, but still don't fully understand. what we can do as marketers with latent demand is brand awareness. I doubt that though it will be easy to build and educate your audience and build awareness of a hammer as a tool for self-protection in the car, even though in some countries baseball bat is considered to be a tool of choice for the road accident debates resolutions. So maybe it's actually not that impossible. All right, so understanding the chain for your products, the demand chain for your products, can and should improve your marketing messages and creatives, help you better understand user queries and topics for your content strategy, help you better structure your ad account, or give you as a business even a development vector. If you understand this is where demand goes, maybe that's where you should go as well. Speaking of the other type of research that should necessarily be included in your consumer research, in your marketing research, is the consumer research. Again, what do you need to know? Again, similarly to the previous, you probably know about your customers in details or not, but you probably know the age, the salary, the gender, income, location, job title. And yeah, that's very good that you know it. It's better than just considering your customers, everyone from the 20 to 65. That happens a lot. So knowing this is not enough. You also need to understand the entire customer journey. When and why do they buy from you? What they like, what they don't, how they decide to buy your product, and what they do before the purchase. Before is very much more important than what they do after. How they, or during the purchase, for the marketing research purposes. How they find you, what devices they use, and why they need your products. What pain points do they solve, and what are the alternative solutions for this pain. This is very important. And again, often businesses think that there is no solution to the pain that they solve, and that's in majority of the cases is not true, because there is a solution. It's alternative. It's not some particular case, but people somehow solve this problem, right? For example, you can see an example here, the instant coffee as a product. And we often see ad messages for instant coffee that are related to energy or coffee aroma or morning. Something like banners like this are everywhere. TV ads like this used to be very often. I don't know what actually happens in TV now. So that's some kind of obvious truth about instant coffee customers. Now, one coffee producer of the instant coffee, they did the research of their customers, and they found some secret truths, which is why we're doing this, what we're doing this for, about their audience. And they found out that women 35, office workers, they often use coffee sticks. And now let's play a little game. I encourage you that there will be no prize yet for this, or maybe. But anyway, please type your suggestions right in the chat. What do you think? What did this company found out about their customers? How people, those 35 plus office workers, women, used instant coffee? I'm going to see the chat for your suggestion. Will this presentation be shared with, yes, the presentation and the recording will be shared, most likely. Yeah, no, we will share the recording too, but at the end of the webinar, we will, there will be a prize, and the winner will be someone of the present participants. So share your suggestions. What do you think? What did this company find out about the instant coffee users? I'm not sure if it's a technical glitch or you're not really into participating in competitions. All right, so yeah, then let me just share with you what this company did find out. They found out that women aged 35 in office jobs, they gift or present coffee sticks to each other as a thank you to their colleagues. So basically, you did me a small favor. I give you kind of a small bribe or so. So basically, this is used as a gift, as a present in a return a favor. This was later used in marketing communication. This is an example of how talking to your customers and analyzing them can allow you to learn something more than just by assuming, even though you know your customers really well. Okay, I see that we have they are for busy people. We see that there was this answer to the question before, but okay, thank you for this version. Next, what does our consumer research give to us in our business? It gives us data for audience segmentation for better targeting, and each of these points means saving money in marketing. Segmenting, better targeting, save money. Understanding the digital points of customer journey, understanding pain points, which can be the basis for your marketing messages and brand strategy in general. Understanding the cross products that you can also offer in the recommendation sections, and email marketing. And again, going back to our previous slides, if we understand the cross products, then maybe it's a joint demand and there are more than one way to use it. Okay, next, how can you research your consumers? There are 4 possible options. Surveys, which is the most commonly used. It's relatively simple. You ask questions, there are yes or no or similar answers, and you get qualitative data. Interviews, which is the best for, it gives you the most insights, but is of course the most resourceful. Focus groups is when you collect together a group of your target audience representatives and you discuss with them something that you want to understand better about your customers. The additions is that the advantages is that you get more data as it's a group of people. On the other hand, people will not be as honest with you as on the one-to-one interviews. So some deep secret insights you're more likely to get from the deep interviews if you are a good interviewer, which is a separate thing. That's also important. And one more way to do the customer research is to read the reviews, because that's where people actually tell you what they don't like about the competitors' products. So that's the source of finding the pain points, the source of finding of understanding your customers, what they didn't like, what they did like, etc. The problem with this is, of course, it's not in terms of statistics. Your statistics are very much twisted by chances, like someone wrote it, it's not representative amount of anyone, it's just someone that happened to write it. Okay, so based on the competitor research and consumer research and on the demand analysis, on these 3 pillars, we can understand value proposition, marketing messages, and precise targeting for further promotion. And this makes our marketing much more efficient. Okay, it was easy, wasn't it? Now let's look at the common mistakes in digital marketing promotion. And now we get to the interactive part. I'll tell you later how exactly. Let's start with the paid ads, PPC, pay-per-click. I'm sure you understand it. That's when we purchase from Google the traffic that we are mostly interested in, from the people, users, and searches that are the most interest for us. As usually, a little bit of statistics. People are 4 times more likely to click ads on Google than any other advertising network. So now you can see 4 questions I am going to share with you this poll, and please vote for the topic that is your either biggest problem at the moment, or this is the topic that you would mostly like to you would like us to cover, to discuss today. And these topics or issues are: first, I receive purchases from search ads, but I can't seem to make up my spent revenue. So you're investing in PPC, but the return on your investment is like the channel basically doesn't really work for you. Potential issue number two: I don't know how to scale keeping my CPA. So you have achieved some result, you have you actually have purchases or leads or whatever the goal is from PPC, with the cost per action that your business model is okay with. But once you want to scale, the magic disappears. If that is your problem or topic you'd like to discuss, please choose 2. 3, it's difficult to maintain the relevant assortment in my search ads, not shopping, but the search ads. Availability, prices, new products. For example, you have products, you advertise them in search ads, and you often find that you've been advertising some products that have been out of stock for a long time in your search ad, because in shopping it's kind of automatically solved by the shopping, but in search ads there might be this problem. In shopping there are other problems possible, but we can talk about them in one of our other webinars. Question number 4: the items that Google recommends promoting don't give desirable conversions. I have other items in priority. Google happily sells something while you have something else piling in your stock, in your warehouse. So let me, I won't count to 5 because you've had quite enough time. So I'm finishing this poll and sharing the results with you. And you can see that most of our attendees would like to know about the issue number 2. I don't know how to scale keeping my CPA, which is good. It means you've already done something, right? At some point you have achieved your CPA and now you can scale. It's much better than being the guys from the issue number 1, where you can't even get to this point. So let's discuss it. How it happens: as I've briefly described, you're running your Google Ads campaigns. You have, for example, $2 revenue for every $1 you put in, and for your margin, it fits perfectly. You're happy as a clam. But then you expect growth, and so double your Google Ads spend, and then your ROI suddenly drops from 100 to 50%, and then to 30%. And oh my God, what do I do? So what should you do? First of all, it's actually a common issue for business. So as calmly as this, I don't remember who this is from Star Wars, but you should be ready for it and you should accept it. Bigger share of market means higher CPA. And if it's for the same market without educating new audience, but generally the more the biggest share from the existing current market you take from the competitors, most likely, in majority, 99% of the cases, the highest price you will pay for each purchase. Up till some moment, it will not change for you. But then once you cross that line, it will be more and more expensive for you. But that would be not really a good webinar if the only thing we told you would be accepted, right? That's the psychology webinar then. But no, it's digital marketing webinar. So there are a few things that you could do. Basically, there are 2 options. First, you need to either, like generally, strategically, you need to either find new advertising solutions, optimize old or find new tools. So your PPC campaigns are the tools. So you can either maybe another agency, another freelancer, or if you were doing it yourself, then someone that you hire can just do it better. And then maybe this will allow you to keep the CPA that your previous endeavors didn't allow you to keep. And the second way, the road strategical direction number 2, is you need to find new audience, new assortment, or new consumers for the old product. So it's either new consumers for your product, and then we will actually discuss similar case a bit later, or it's educating new audiences, which is actually In the short term, definitely not cheaper, but in the long term, you might appear to be getting new customers with the same CPA that you used to be so happy about back in the years when the grass was green, and so on. So if for some few recommendations. First of all, surprisingly, but for the customers that come with us with a similar request, we often find that these types of campaigns are not running. And so if that's your case, then you should do it because they're effective. Dynamic remarketing campaigns, I mean, you probably know, but it's when the ad chases you all over the internet once you dared to not finish the purchase, for example. RLSA campaigns, which is the remarketing list search ads. This basically means that we, for the people that have visited our website pages, we bid higher in our future search ads. We understand, okay, this is the guy that visited our website, so I want to bid higher for him in particular, because more likely that he will buy from me. He already has some brand knowledge, visited my website, knows me, etc. Bid on your branded keywords. You have your branded keywords. People that are Googling for your branded keyword, they will anyway come to you through organic search because you've kind of already benefiting from your own brand awareness. On the other hand, the higher the chances, the better, because this is a very good audience, very high chances of converting. Second, some competitors might be bidding on your brand keywords. And then, by the way, in some cases, you can actually not let it happen. Or if it's impossible to forbid, then you can overbid them with the marketing budgets. Also, it might be worse, but that's a separate case for each case in business. Also bid on competitors' keywords. And tip number 4 is run performance max campaigns. That's Google's newest campaigns that kind of automate more and more and more and more. So they are actually giving pretty good results, and you still can kind of manage it. There are things that are still in your control, but of course it's good to do not put all the eggs in a basket. So you have to continuously test old and new campaigns. How is this second strategical way, as we mentioned before, is often to improve or increase the assortment and find new audience. And we have a short kind of case study for this. One of our clients was faced with the problem when selling women's athletic leggings. And you would think like what else can you do? It's leggings. There is not many new additional products or audiences that you can sell it to. But together with us, what they started doing is they started selling athletic leggings for elderly women. The same product, there appeared to be a demand. There appeared to be audience that is actually looking for this product. Athletic leggings for plus size, also the same product. And also kids leggings like moms. I'm not sure, that might have required some changes in actual maybe product delivery, product production a little bit, but still they got access to a whole new segment of audience, because there is a kid, there is a mom, and mom wants her kid, and so does kid, to look the same. So addressing these 3 new segments allowed our client to increase revenue to 30%. So this does work for such cases. Now, right now, and in the future, we will have these blocks where you can ask your questions. Just type them right now in the chat if you have any. We will have such blocks after each segment of our webinar. And then in the end, there will be a Q&A session separately, or we will answer all the questions if I can't answer them right now. Then we have, especially for you, to give you the most valuable answer we actually have an all-star team, the representatives of each direction of marketing also here today with us. So maybe for some questions, we will give you answers later at the end. Let me check if we have some questions. All right. They need it and they work and it's must for them. Yes. Okay. So there is a question from Abdurrahman. And do you think organic marketing is an effective solution for a new brand? This is an interesting question. This I can probably answer myself, but that again, of course, there are many answers to marketing questions, but organic marketing it's a bit differently. If you are in my opinion, if you are a new brand, then what you need is your first sales, right? Then the fastest way to get new sales is paid ads. On the other hand, not always you can afford to compete in this channel. And then in some cases in which you cannot, then organic is your way. On the other hand, if we are talking about organic as SEO, then I'll tell you what every marketing company will tell you. We have to test it. No, something else. Every marketing company tells you SEO takes a long time, so you will not give fast results. Though organic from social media and some particular things in SEO can actually give you fast results. So that's what I think is my opinion answer of your question. And what's the best strategist for such a case? Yeah, as I've just mentioned, the best strategy is definitely to try PPC, paid ads, because if it appears that it works, you get quick feedback, you can modify your business fast, in lining with the actual demand, you understand the CPA, maybe it works, and then boom, you can just scale. Simultaneously with this, SEO is generally something that you can not survive without, so you just have to do it. And organic as SMM is also a must because of a few reasons. First, in majority of the cases, we will tell you about it later in the next sessions, but people often look in the social media when making a purchase. It's kind of a social proof for them. So if you have a live, active social media page, that increases your online reputation. That's a must. And on the other hand, you can get traffic from SMM, organic traffic, relatively fast. But it is also truth that in majority of the cases, the reason why brands are doing SMM is brand awareness, talking to customers. It is not exactly a sales related tool. If you take, 100 retails, then their major sources of income will be organic, direct, paid, not social. Social will be bringing less of actual revenue. I think for now, that's all the questions. So we continue. Oops, let me find. Thank you. Thank you for the question. We are proceeding to the next block, social advertising. And here, we'll actually start with the statistics that I mentioned. 74% of people use social media when making a purchasing decision. But again, here is what I meant. It doesn't mean that if you have a Facebook page, they will buy from you. No, they won't, most likely. But they will know you. They will understand that you exist, that someone is there. So this is a good company for your other unnecessary company, for your other marketing channels. But sometimes there are cases that happen that we will tell you about later. If we choose the right point, even if we don't, I'll tell you about it later. So please select which of these issues sounds like your biggest problem or the topic you'd like to share. First, number of conversions in analytics does not match with meta ads. You look, like you run ads and then you look in your account, in Meta or Facebook, Instagram advertising account, you see one amount. In analytics, it's completely something else. Second issue is I don't know what budget to start with my Facebook advertisement. And number 3, I want to set up campaigns for my competitors in Facebook, in social networks. Sorry, I have not yet shared the, let me share with you now this poll, and I will ask you to give answers. So, which Facebook or Instagram issue looks like your trouble? Number of conversions analytics doesn't match, you don't know what budget to start with, or you want to set up campaigns for competitors. I'll give you 5 more seconds to vote. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you. For a second, it was 50-50. That would have been an interesting case if we had a complete the same results. So let me share with you the results. And majority of us, 57%, have chosen I don't know what budget to start with in social networks. So this is what we will talk about. I don't know what budget to start with. First of all, we want you to know it's okay, bro. Facebook, meaning if you don't necessarily require a huge budget. Facebook allows you to start your campaign even from $1. So the quick answer is kind of obvious, kind of, as I mentioned, that's what every marketing agency will tell you about anything that we have to test, but you have to test. That's actually an answer. But first you need to understand your perfect, so you generally in your Facebook advertisement, you need to understand your perfect ad split, what audience you should target in the future, what kind of visuals your audience responds to the best, by which ad and which ad set, etc. What kind of CTAs are the most effective, and what goals for the campaigns are most effective. We'll tell you about the possible goals a bit later. There is a small tip here from our team. Let the campaigns. Yeah, that's very often the case when it's hard to convince your customers as a marketing agency, but let the campaigns go through the learning phase. Let them learn. Don't, even though they don't give results in the beginning. It's like a little kid. You can't demand the results in the very beginning of their life. They have to educate. And so the logic here is that this is the data that you need to understand before scaling. That's first thought. Second thought is that in order for this to happen, you need to get some certain amount of interactions happen, and based on it you determine the budget for the campaign. Unfortunately, we cannot, it's niche specific, so there is no answer like always definitely you need to start with this amount. But we would say that we recommend to set $20 daily budget for each campaigns, we would say, for most of the niches. And then again, we go to the previous slide. Let it run, analyze the most crucial things which are mentioned here, and then you understand which of the campaigns to scale. Second, or another tip, is to increase your budget gradually by adding 10-12% only. So don't double your budgets, add them slowly, because drastic budget increases can lead to high CPC. Next, it's important to monitor Facebook campaigns performance, since Facebook covers the volume of the audience first and then increases the frequency. And one more tip is that you need to be accurate when decreasing the budget near the end of the day. System might not have enough time to apply new settings, so it's better to do it in the beginning of the day. Now, speaking of the goals, you have to be sure that your campaign has the right objective, and there are such objectives as traffic, engagement, conversions, and reach. Traffic is when your goal is to lead users to your website. Engagement is when your goal is virality and subscribers. Conversions, when you need lead generation. And reach, when your goal is to just tell users about your brand or a special offer, or even if you want to increase offline sales. And an interesting case study, one of our very locally popular clients, so he basically had great brand awareness, people knew the brand, came to Facebook for pure, again, to supporting, increasing further its brand awareness. And so They initially came to Facebook as a brand awareness tool, which it very often is. But then they tested Facebook dynamic ads for some products, and they noticed incredible return on investment and added all the available campaigns and products. And so now the channel generates 15% of their online revenue, which is very cool. It's like normally you will get much less than 15% out of your social media ads or organic traffic, etc. Now it's time to ask your questions if you have any relevant to this topic. And well, if you do it during the next section, then we will notice it. And later in the section of Q&A, we will answer these questions. Our next block is SEO, search engine optimization. Fun statistics, 49% of marketers report that organic search has the best return on investment of any marketing channels. And that's quite obvious because it's when you don't pay Google, it's when you convince Google that your content is useful. So you have to actually invest sometimes a lot in being able to do it. But once you have achieved it, it's your, at some point, free source of revenue. You still have to update it. So please select which SEO issue looks like your trouble. I want to get on the first place on SERP for high volume keywords. So you basically want to be on the first place of search results page for some high volume keywords like, I don't know, buy iPhone, something very lucrative. And I need to, second potential option is I need to increase my positions relatively fast. You do have some positions, you want to increase them relatively fast. Now I'm going to launch the poll and will ask you to answer this question. So please select the issue that it sounds like the problem you'd like to discuss more. Get on the first place for SERP result for high volume keywords, or you want to increase your positions relatively fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you. And as you can see, you don't yet. Wow. Now I wanted to have it 50-50. So I'm going to share the results with you. Well, then it's going to be my choice. I think let's go with the number 1. You want to get on the first place in SERP for high volume keywords. Just a sec. So you want to get on the first place for high volume keywords. And again, if we think about it, or if you ask any SEO agency about it, then it's like a path of many years. So how can you answer this in 5 minutes of a webinar? So what we thought is what the value that we can quickly give you in the short period of time is answer the question when to not fight for the top keywords. That's the question that we will share with you right now. So first of all, you've got to make sure that game is worth the candle. You need to understand the customer journey and bet on the decision stage keywords. This is the example that everyone wants, right? Buy iPhone. You have to first understand what kind of query is it, because there are such queries as informational intent, when people are generally looking for some information, but they are far away from purchasing. So you will build brand awareness, build trust, but this will not bring you sales and revenue right now. So you have to evaluate it. Second type of keywords are the ones of the commercial or transactional intent. Commercial is something closer to the purchase, but not yet a purchase. Like, for example, comparing models of the mobile phones, choosing which one is better. So we understand that this person, this user he's already considering a purchase, but still he is not yet making this purchase. Transactional intent is actually what we want, but we will have to fight there a lot with all the other people that also want it, is when someone is looking to buy something or for a certain model of mobile phone, for example, as close as possible to the actual transaction. And there are a few more, like also to this segment of the people that are very close to making a decision, we can allocate navigational intent, is when people are already looking for a certain website or certain page. They kind of have made their decision, they're on the way. And the local intent, when people are looking for something within their territory. So at some point, it might be even more lucrative for us if we are present at this territory. So first, we have to evaluate the keyword that we are about to fight for according to this logic. Second, we try to describe for you the logic on how to bet or how to fight or not fight for a certain keyword. So first of all, there is a search and results page, and you can see if there are ads on the top of this page or not. If there are ads, then you can try running your search ads campaigns, and there are 3 possible outcomes out of it. First of all, your ads campaigns appear to be affordable or relevant. You actually get leads and clients. So like, what do we do? Our opinion is you just run ads, continue doing it, scale it. As long as your business gets the clients at the cost that you can achieve, just do it. You can still consider SEO as an additional channel and as a must, because if you will find, as you will find out later, majority of your customer or of your competitors probably get 40-30% of their traffic for free from SEO. So if you're going to pay for all that they are getting for free, you will not survive. But still, it's not, I mean, according to this logic, in this case, you might want to just run ads and do SEO in addition. Second possible outcome of the test ads campaign is that you have irrelevant or no leads. You run campaign, you did it with the professionals, you were sure that you were doing it right. You have actually got yourself the same traffic, but it doesn't result into anything that you can use. Then you can just not waste time for this keyword. If you can buy this traffic effectively, if you buy this traffic and it's not effective, then why spend time and resources on trying to win this type of traffic organically? And the third possible options is that you have great leads, but they are too expensive. Like PPC works for you. You get leads, but the cost of lead for you is like 10 times higher than your business can afford. And then this is a way for, in this case, SEO might be a very relevant way to go for you for this competitive keyword. It will still take you lots of, we will talk about it later, but generally, in this case, that's the way. Second possible option, there are no ads on top. You type something in and there are only organic search results. What this could mean? First, ads for this niche are forbidden. Then again, SEO is definitely your way. The problem is it's everyone's way. No one can run ads. Everyone goes into SEO. SEO gets very competitive, but still you can squeeze in sometimes. We will talk about later in which cases you can. Second reason, there are low volume keywords. So, like there are no ads because one person a year Googles this. Then you don't really need to waste time for this keyword again, like maybe a little bit to generally believing that in the future, but right now we shouldn't. I think you should. We think you should. Third, no one is running ads yet. So no policies forbid running ads for this particular topic, but it doesn't happen. Then what you should do, we think, is start running ads fast. You're lucky. You should do it. You should start doing what somehow that's not very likely, but maybe it happened. No one yet thought of running advertising for this particular type of traffic. And still, long-term SEO is a strategy for you, because generally, if this type of traffic is good for your business, then SEO, if you have the patience and the budget for it, is an inevitable thing for you. So that's one possible logic. Next possible logic is the local pack. You can see after inserting some search query if there is a map pack at the top. On the right, you can see what we mean by the map pack. So if there is a map pack, then you have to answer a very simple question. Do you have a physical store in this specific location? So if is this actually relevant for you? If yes, then your first action of choice should be going to Google My Business and local SEO. That's also the type of SEO, but not compete for those nationwide, super competitive, highly with high volume keywords. But first, collect everything that is local. Second, if you don't have a physical store in this specific location, then since you cannot be relevant to this local demand, then you have to compete for the national demand. So then SEO is a good choice. If you don't have actual address, but you still want to present, it's technically possible to be present in the local pack. But first of all, it's kind of gray technique, and I'm not sure if you should do it. But generally, sometimes it's possible, just to not like mislead you that it's not. And finally, if there is no map pack at the top, so no one appears there somehow, then again, SEO, since you can compete locally with the less competitors, then you have to compete on the scale with the big guys. But yeah, so if you, after all of these things, have come to conclusion that you want to compete, you have to also understand if this is a fight you are going to win. And even though Ukraine right now seems to not ask itself this question and is doing pretty well, it's generally good to answer this question before the fight. So how can you understand for a particular search results, will you be able to compete? You have to analyze the top 10 search engine page results for the particular query. And in case at least one of them is, we can consider him beatable, then we think you can try. Of course, it will still take lots of resources, but it's worth the attempt, worth the fight. What and how can you analyze in this case? You can analyze such things as pages in index, number of links, assortment, sites age, and quality of content. I'll quickly show you how. Pages of index. For example, let's imagine you want to appear in Google when someone Googles Apple. You know that Apple is your competitor, but maybe you sell something for Apple. It would be great if when people Googled Apple, your website would be promoted by Google into the search results. So we can kind of ask Google about how many pages of Apple does Google know. We do this, we write site, then colon and apple.com, and we can see that Google currently, maybe I can update it, number sometimes changes, it's not like very exact, but generally Google currently knows about 323 millions of pages of Google. Google takes all the first page of the first page. So what are your chances if you have like 10 pages of your website that you can potentially compete with? Your pages are kind of your weapons. What are your chances? They are not exactly very much, not exactly very high. Second, what you can analyze is how old the website is, and I'll also quickly share with you this or similar websites allow you to just Google the certain domain and understand, Google, but search for a certain domain and understand how old is the domain, how long time ago was it registered, and Google thinks that domains that were registered earlier are of higher authority, which is logical. And again, apple.com, for example, was registered and first saw the life in 1987, just like me. So if your website is like 1 year old, then chances of Google are quite much more higher. Other things that you can analyze are number of links. I won't be able to quickly show you how, because this requires specific tools like Ahrefs, for example, or many other alternatives. But if you're doing SEO, you know these tools, you have these tools. If your company, if some company is doing for you SEO, then they have it. But you can analyze it and also kind of understand if this is generally biddable within a reasonable amount of time. All the other things are assortment. If you are fighting for the same category and your competitor has 1,000 products and you have 10, then long story short, you will not win in SEO, or your chances are very low. So you need to either find a way to increase your, if it's possible technically for the business, to increase the number of your items that you sell, or you have to understand that you will be in a very weak position. And quality of content, that's very hard to kind of structure, but what we mean by this is, for example, the photos. If your competitor has some unique, great video, photo content, and you are going to only have stock photos of some products that like everyone else, that again, then means your chances are not very high. So these are the parameters that you can use for analyzing of the top 10 websites in the search engine results, and thus make a conclusion. Will I fight? And if you finally, so yeah, before you spend months and quite a lot of dollars ranking for, trying to rank for a single keyword, you have to realize that it's actually worth it. If you did, if we could describe the whole process of several years in one slide, then we would recommend you first start with long tail commercial keywords. Take the keywords that might potentially lead to purchase, and take the ones that have long tail, so they are very specific, might not have such a huge amount of volume, but you win those first, and then you start competing for the big ones. Develop your website and author's expertise. That's important for Google now, and that's actually important for people too. So kind of build your authors, their authority. It's great if they are real people. It's great if they are subject matter expert and they are not shy to share their knowledge online to be known as subject matter experts, because Google will like it. That's one of the reasons. Also, make it very clear for users in Google who exactly is your business. Speaking of the EAT, expertise, authority, trust, that's one of the also algorithms that Google considers for ranking pages of the website. So you have to let people, that's maybe even more important, and Google know like who you are, what your business is about, how do you deliver, everything about you. Have a constantly available specialist and developer monitoring your website SEO, because one critical bug can destroy your rankings. That has happened. Clients came to us having lost everything they've had over a short period of time. We, of course, I have to say it, we have repeatedly helped them to get back what is possible to get back, but still you save lots of time and money if instead of coming to us to save you, once you've achieved some result, constantly have someone checking the newest trends, technical specifics of your website to make sure that everything is interactive. The more good websites refer to you, the better. That's also kind of obvious things about SEO. And be always talking. That's probably good for personal brand. For SEO, we mean be always talking, be always generating new content. And also one more honest thought from us: can you get to top 10 without an SEO team by yourself, unless you're SEO expert yourself? The answer is no. Unfortunately, fortunately, a block of the questions. So if you have some questions, type them right now. How long can it take to become the first? This is the question that, again, okay, if I think if someone firmly answers you this question, then you have to take your money and run away from this expert or agency, because it depends not only on your actions, but also on Google algorithms that are constantly changing, and you have to constantly adapt, and on your competitors' actions. So you were great, but at the same time, competitors were even better, and then they get higher than you. So it's more realistic to say how long will it take to get to top 10 or something if you have zero results, or just have certain increase, like from top 20 to top 10, etc. And again, this is the question that it's impossible to answer, except for, I can tell you, not less than 6 months. It will never, except for some wild luck, take you less than 6 or even 8 months to get to the first page for any more or less relevant and interesting for others search query. Thank you for this question. If you have other questions, type them in the end. We will check if there are some unanswered questions and answer them. And we can proceed to the next section, which is retention marketing. Fun statistics for like, maybe it's not super fun, but still, 4 out of 5 marketers say that they would rather give up social media than email marketing. I'll give a bit more context to it. Why it's great? Because it is actually basically free. Of course, you have to set it up. You have to kind of update everything and spend time and resources on keeping the email or retention marketing channel running. But still, comparing with the investment that you have to do in other performance marketing channels, is free. You just use and leverage your existing results. It doesn't give you, like, it cannot be 50% of your result. It usually also is some small amount, but you get it for free. You just have to get it. So please select which email marketing issue looks like your trouble. I need to increase my email contact base. Second, my contact list is long, but open rate is low. My email channel doesn't generate the revenue I expect. I'm going to share with you the poll right now. Excuse me. Oh, I haven't shared with you the previous results. Here are the results of our previous poll. And now, please, so this is the poll for email marketing. Please submit your answers. I need to increase my email's contact base. My contact list is long, but open rate is low. And my email channel doesn't generate the revenue I expect. I count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I am finishing the and sharing the results with you. As you can see, the winner is number 3. My email channel doesn't generate the revenue I expect. All right. Excuse me. Here you can see that the 67% of us have chosen number 3. And so let me jump to this section. My email channel doesn't generate the revenue I expect. For every $1 you spend on email marketing, you can expect an average return of $36. Again, to be honest, the downside of it is that there is quite a limited amount of budget that you can so greatly spend, because it will not be your main source, most likely, but it is very it can be very good in terms of ROI. What you can do to make your email channel generate more revenue, the revenue that you expect, you can redesign your emails. It sounds simple, but we will I'm not sure if we'll talk about it, but generally constantly changing your emails and A/B testing it can lead to the improvements in conversions in your contact base, which is still access to additional conversions that you just haven't been getting before. And all you need to do is just to redesign, and maybe even a small tweak, not fully redesign. Increase the number of email collection forms and do it with creativity. So what this means, the more collection forms you have, the more your contact base is. You kind of have two conversions. People come to your website. On the one hand, they can purchase and it's great. On the other hand, they can convert into a subscriber, not exactly the direct transaction, but you grow your kingdom slowly. And then later you can use it in the retention email marketing. That's why the more email collection forms you have, the better. But of course, you have to be careful not decreasing your conversion rate at the same time. So there possibly will be a fight between your in-house email specialists and UX specialists. The one will want to have more pop-ups. The other one will have to not just let the user finish the transaction. Next thing you can do, clean up your contact list. The people that don't want to hear from you, you don't want to talk to them in life and email marketing. Next tip is to segment and personalize your emails. And don't forget about the triggered emails is our tip number 4. Now we will talk a bit more about each of those. Redesign your email. Try different CTAs. As I mentioned, you might not want to invest in fully redesign, or you don't have the designer. Try just changing CTA and tracking and A/B testing the result. Maybe you will have a significant increase, and run A/B test. Just redesign can increase CTR by 30%. And this means that not necessarily your transactions will also be 30%, but they will increase. Okay, next is increase the number of email collection forms. Here's how you can do it. You can use subscription forms. That's first. You can subscribe, like on this example. That's the simplest subscription form that you have definitely seen on various websites. Next, you can have widgets. That's the same thing, but with a different design. You can also have gamification, which many people now have probably seen because many CMSs, the website builders, have it built in. But that's a great way because people still like to play. And if you're offered to not just give your email, but play, maybe win a prize, and then give your email as the part of this game, then you will more likely do it. Except for the Wheels of Fortune that you have probably seen, because it's getting a bit more or less popular, you can also create, or at least we can create for you. I mean, they generally, maybe not you yourself, but it's technically possible to create, for example, the scratch card gamification and 2048, for example, gamification as well. You can actually offer people play it right now. Next, clean up your contact list. You can identify the incorrect emails. You can clear out inactive subscribers that don't respond to anything. You can remove from your list the recipients who mark your emails as spam. You think it's spam? I'm not going to write to you. It will be actually better for you. You can segment your contact list. It can be done by geographic, demographics, psychographics, and behavioral. Geographics is clear, demographics, age, gender, etc. Psychographics, for example, lifestyle, concerned personality, and behavioral, how they behave on your website during the conversion, for example, or before. Benefits that they are looking for, how they purchase, their intent, their status, their engagement, buyer stage, etc. Based on it, very often happens that customers come to us and they have like 500,000 emails and it's not segmented. Okay, at this scale, usually it's segmented, but you have 10,000 emails and they're not segmented. So the one thing you can do is to send everything to everyone. And if it fits everyone, in marketing, this means it fits no one. So if you segment them by these or other, there are many of them segments, and then your email communication with them, it allows you to actually build the communication that is relevant for each segment. And then you can bring them value in your emails, not just buy this, we have a discount type of communication. And if you do this, and then you still send buy this, we have a discount, but in between your other emails, then it works. Next, don't forget about trigger emails. This is the huge increase of efficiency if you don't have it yet. Probably you've seen it. As I said in the beginning, if you dare to not finish your conversion on some okay e-commerce website, you will immediately get an abandonment email asking you to finish your purchase, which is a great way to just get some of the money that you have almost lost, but you can still try to not lost it. Also, potential triggers are product catalog, recommendations, post-purchase, reminders, event-based, date-based, activity, behavior, inactivity. So there are many different triggers that you can do and automatically send to your customers. Now it's time for you to ask the questions. If you have them, please do. Okay, all right. So I'll give you 5 seconds to type in your questions if you have them. No? Okay. In the end, let me briefly remind you about our digital marketing services. Services that we represent are marketing strategy, understanding where to run, to put it shortly, SEO and ASO. ASO is the SEO organic, but for mobile phones, and also paid mobile advertisement as well. Paid PPC, purchasing traffic on your behalf, advertising, marketing analysis, retention, UX UI design, and media production, producing banners, video, etc. You can learn a bit more about our digital marketing services screening this QR code in the presentation that we will share with you afterwards, and you can find new ways to grow for your business.